A rocket arrived close to Ahli medical clinic in Gaza on Tuesday, bringing about a strike in which many Palestinians lost their lives, according to the well-being service in Gaza in the midst of Israel's attack. While world pioneers have censured the passings and fights have emitted in Middle Easterner nations and the more extensive Muslim world, Israel and Palestinian aggressor bunches have exchanged fault for the strike. What was the deal? At around 1700 GMT on Tuesday, the well-being service in Gaza said an Israeli airstrike had stirred things up around town-run Ahli Bedouin clinic in focal Gaza City. Israel denied it was capable, nailing the fault to a fizzled rocket focused on Israeli area by the Palestinian assailant Bunch Islamic Jihad from close to the emergency clinic. The Gaza Well-Being Service said no less than 471 individuals had been killed and in excess of 300 injured, some in basic condition. A senior European insight source told AFP he accepted a limit of 50 individuals were killed. Israeli Armed Force Representative Jonathan Conricus has additionally questioned the Hamas-run service's figures, inquiring where could every one of the bodies be. Hamas has excused Israel's situation, saying its absurd untruths don't bamboozle anybody. AFP journalists saw many bodies at the scene, with doctors and regular folks recuperating bodies enveloped by white material, covers or dark plastic sacks. Bloodstains and burnt vehicles should have been visible in the clinic yard. Pictures of the clinic after the strike distributed by the Maxar satellite observing gathering show the clinic structures principally seemed, by all accounts, to be unblemished. Maxar said their pictures uncover a likely stained chute region in the principal stopping region of the medical clinic compound with no critical underlying harm to the neighboring structures. Viciousness has spiraled since Hamas raged across the boundary into southern Israel on October 7 and shot, cut and consumed to death in excess of 1,400 individuals, generally regular citizens, as per Israeli authorities. Something like 3,785 individuals have been killed in the Gaza Strip since Israel sent off a brutal air and gunnery barrage encounter, as per the Well-Being Service. A huge number of families have looked for shelter from the siege in and around Gaza's overpowered clinics. What did the two sides say? While Hamas said the harm came from an Israeli airstrike, the Israeli armed force expressed assailants from another gathering Islamic Jihad had caused the blast with a fizzled rocket. The proof which we are offering to all of you affirms that the blast at the medical clinic in Gaza was brought about by an Islamic Jihad rocket that fizzled, Military Representative Daniel Hagari told a question-and-answer session in Tel Aviv. He said Israel's direction examination showed the rockets were terminated in nearness to the clinic. Talking in a video delivered on Wednesday, Conricus said that recording from the site showed too little harm to local structures and too little an effect hole for an Israeli strike. When a major bomb, similar to the ones we utilize, stirs things up around town, it makes an exceptionally enormous cavity, he said, adding, "For what reason isn't there a major pit? Since it was anything but an Israeli bomb." The representative said the degree of fire harm was rather demonstrative of a rocket, saying of the medical clinic yard, "This is precisely exact thing a rocket-influenced site in Israel seems to be." Islamic Jihad has said Israel was simply attempting to dodge liability regarding the passings. We consequently certify that the allegations set forward by the foe are misleading and unjustifiable, the gathering said. Hamas said Israel is straightforwardly answerable for this horrendous slaughter which was completed with American weapons, just the occupation has. Israel has additionally rejected that the blast was brought about by its Iron Arch rocket safeguard framework, saying the framework isn't utilized to capture rockets inside Gaza, however keep them from hitting an Israeli area. How has the world responded? U.S. President Joe Biden, out traveling to Israel to show fortitude, said he was profoundly disheartened and shocked by the clinic blast and upheld Israel's record. In view of the data we've seen to date, it shows up because of a deviant rocket terminated by a psychological militant gathering in Gaza, he said, after a gathering with Israeli top state leader Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv. States in Middle Easterner nations and the more extensive Muslim world have generally supported Hamas' record of the clinic passings, communicating shock at Israeli strikes on regular citizen populaces. Indeed, even nations with conciliatory relations with Israel, for example, Jordan and the assembled Middle Eastern Emirates, faulted Israel for the strike. From Tehran to Tripoli, thousands have joined challenges Israel following requires a day of fury across the locale. Legislatures in Europe have denounced the strike, yet without crediting fault. EU boss Ursula von der Leyen said there is not a good reason for hitting an emergency clinic brimming with regular folks in Gaza, yet didn't distribute fault for the impact. Russia depicted the strike as a wrongdoing and a demonstration of dehumanization, approaching Israel to give verification it was not involved.